Encouragement to Uphold. Chapter 13. At that time, Bodhisattva Mahasattva Medicine King and Bodhisattva Mahasattva Great Eloquence, accompanied by 20,000 bodhisattvas, came before the Buddha and assured him by saying, "We sincerely hope that the world-honored one will set his mind at rest. After the Buddha's parinirvana, we shall uphold, read, recite, and explain this sutra with reverence. In future troubled ages, living beings' good roots will diminish, and they will become increasingly arrogant. Because they covet benefits and offerings, their unwholesome roots will increase, and they will drift further from liberation. Although they will be difficult to teach, we shall remain patient and continue to read, recite, uphold, explain, and write out this sutra. We shall make offerings to it in various ways, without concern for our bodies and lives." Then the 500 arhats in the assembly, who had received predictions of Buddhahood, said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, we too vow to explain the sutra extensively in other lands. Furthermore, the 8,000 disciples in need of study or beyond study, who had received predictions of Buddhahood, rose from their seats, placed their palms together, and, facing the Buddha, made this vow. World-honored one, we too shall explain this sutra extensively in other lands. Why? Most people in the Saha world are evil, arrogant, shallow in meritorious virtue, hateful, defiled, obsequious, devious, and dishonest." Thereupon, the Buddha's aunt, Bhikshuni Mahaprajapati, along with 6,000 bhikshunis, some in need of study and others beyond study, rose from their seats, single-mindedly joined their palms together, and gazed upward at the honored one's countenance. They did not avert their eyes for even a moment. Then the world-honored one spoke to Gautami. "Why do you gaze at the Tathagata with such a worried expression? Are you thinking that I did not mention your name among my predictions of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi? Gautami, I have already conferred predictions of Buddhahood upon all of the Shravakas. Now you wish to know about your personal prediction. In the future, you will follow the teachings of 68,000 kotis of Buddhas and be a great Dharma master. The rest of the 6,000 bhikshunis, those in need of study and those beyond study, will also become great Dharma masters. In following these teachings, you, Gautami, shall gradually perfect the Bodhisattva path and eventually become a Buddha known as Tathagata all beings behold with delight, one worthy of offerings, one of right and universal knowledge, one of perfect clarity and conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, unsurpassed one, subduing and regulating hero, teacher of gods and humans, Buddha and world-honored one. Gautami, the Buddha, all beings behold with delight, and the rest of the 6,000 bodhisattvas will confer predictions for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi upon one another in succession." At that time, Bhikshuni Yashodhara, Rahula's mother, thought, "When he conferred predictions, the world-honored one did not mention my name." The Buddha said to Yashodhara, "In a future age, you will follow the teachings of billions of kotis of Buddhas and cultivate the bodhisattva practices. You will be a great Dharma master and gradually perfect the Buddha's path. In the world called auspicious, you will become a Buddha known as Tathagata, replete with thousands of myriads of radiant characteristics, one worthy of offerings, one of right and universal knowledge, one of perfect clarity and conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, unsurpassed one, subduing and regulating hero, teacher of gods and humans, Buddha and world-honored one. Your lifespan as a Buddha will be countless asamkhayan eons. At that time, Bhikshuni Mahaprajapati, Bhikshuni Yashodhara, and their followers experienced great joy as never before. Then they spoke in verse in the presence of the Buddha. World-honored one, our guiding master, you bring comfort to gods and people. Having heard these predictions, our hearts know perfect peace. Having spoken this verse, the Bhikshunis said to the Buddha, World-honored one, we too can propagate the Sūtra far and wide in other lands. At that time, the world-honored one looked upon the 800,000 kotis of Nayutas of Bodhisattvas Mahasattvas. All of these Bodhisattvas were Avavartikas who had turned the irreversible Dharma wheel and had attained various dharanis. They immediately rose from their seats, went before the Buddha, and single-mindedly, with palms joined, thought, should the world-honored one instruct us to uphold and teach the Sutra, we would follow the Buddha's instruction and propagate this Dharma far and wide. They further thought, the Buddha is silent now and offers no instruction. What shall we do? Then all the bodhisattvas, reverently complying with the Buddha's will and wishing to fulfill their own past vows, went before the Buddha and with a lion's roar vowed, World-honored one, after the Tathagata's parinirvana, we shall travel extensively among the worlds of the 10 directions, inspiring living beings to write out, uphold, read, and recite this sutra, to explain its meaning, to practice it in accord with the Dharma, and to be properly mindful of it, all by virtue of the awe-inspiring power of the Buddha. When the world-honored one is in other lands, we sincerely entreat him to extend to us his protection from afar. Then all the bodhisattvas spoke the following verse in unison. We sincerely hope that you will not worry. After the Buddha's parinirvana, in a terrifying troubled age, we shall teach far and wide. People lacking wisdom may revile us with malicious words, or attack us with knives and staves, yet we shall endure these wrongs. In a troubled age, bhikshus, with wrong knowledge, flattery, and devious minds, will claim to have attained what they have not. Their minds will be full of pride. Some may appear to be aranyakas. They dress in rags and dwell in the wilderness, claiming to practice the true path. They disparage those who teach among people. Coveting benefits and offerings, they will teach Dharma to the white-robed. People will respect them as if they were arhats with 6 spiritual skills. People such as these harbor evil thoughts and constantly think of worldly affairs. They claim to be aranyakas, but delight in finding fault with us. They will make the following remarks. Bhikshus such as these covet profit and offerings. They teach non-Buddhist doctrines and have composed this sutra to deceive and confuse the world. They seek fame and renown and therefore explicate the sutra. In their constant attempts to defame us before the multitudes, they will slander and speak ill of us. In the presence of kings, ministers, brahmanas, lay people, and even other bhikshus, saying, these people have wrong views and promote non-Buddhist teachings. Because we revere the Buddha, we shall endure all these ills. They will mock us scornfully, saying, all of you are Buddhas. We shall patiently endure their words of mockery. In the turbid eon, in a troubled age, when there will be much to fear, people possessed by evil ghosts will insult and disparage us. Because of our reverent faith in the Buddha, we shall don the armor of patience. In order to teach the sutra, we shall endure all these difficulties. not cherishing our bodies or lives, but caring only for the supreme path, we, in the ages to come, will protect and uphold what the Buddha has entrusted us with. As the world-honored one himself knows, in the turbid age, evil bhikshus, not knowing of the Buddha's expedients, whereby the Dharma is taught appropriately, will frown and speak ill of us, banishing us again and again from stupas and temples. Such will be the host of ills. Yet recollecting the Buddha's instructions, we shall bear up under these events. In the villages, cities, and towns, if there are those who seek the Dharma, we will go those places to teach the Dharma entrusted to us by the Buddha. We are the Buddha's messengers, dwelling fearlessly among the multitudes. We shall skillfully teach the Dharma. May the Buddha abide in peace. We, in the presence of the world-honored one, and the Buddhas who have come from the 10 directions, make such vows as these, and the Buddhas know our hearts.